All right, LDBC, y'all know the routine. Forgive the background noise, and that's just the way that is. Okay, folks. All right, so y'all know that these gymnasts, Simone Biles and Raisman, to name a few, they testified today. They testified about what happened to them at the hands of Larry Nassar. And y'all know who Larry Nassar is. He abused more than 200 different girls. Okay, 200, like, teenage girls. Okay, he sexually abused them over, like, I don't know, a 6 or 7 year period. Folks, that's a lot of girls that he abused in a short amount of time. And these girls, they testified how USA Gymnastics, they knew that Larry Nassar was doing this kind of they knew that he was doing this. They covered it up. Okay, Raisman said the FBI, it took them 14 months, okay, for them to actually do an interview with her about what happened, and they covered it up. So, you got to think for 6 years, these girls, they're being abused. And then they were made to think that, hey, this is normal. This is what he does. This is a part of his job. Don't worry about it. And see, here go the thing, too. I blame these girls, I blame some of their parents. Y'all want to know why I blame some of their parents? Because a lot of these girls, their parents, they try to live vicariously through their daughters. Okay, they try to live vicariously because they want their kids to win so much that they'll send them to some of these coaches that's known for abuse. They'll send them there because they only care about the bottom line, and that's the gold medal. That's the end result. They care about the fame and the fortune that accompanies all of that. They care about that. Okay, they care all about that. But at what price? Seriously, at what price do your kids have to pay? And at what price, as a parent, do you have to pay? What price? What's the price? What's the cost? Well, I mean, you can look at these girls right here, and the cost that they paid was high. The cost that they paid was very, very high because their peace of mind is gone. These girls, they depressed. These girls can't function very well in society. They can't. I mean, y'all saw what happened to Simone Biles. I mean, she broke down. And people keep saying, well, Simone Biles, she a coward. Simone Biles, she don't know nothing about winning. Simone Biles, I can't stand people that sit their asses at home and they try to rationalize why this girl didn't want to compete in some events. This girl she was already depressed. She was already still going through the traumatization of this. What? I mean, do y'all think Simone Biles and all these other girls, they just forget about this? Y'all think they're just going to forget about it and they got to turn that stuff off to be able to compete? There are some women that they never forget about the abuse that they suffered when they're sexually assaulted. They never forget about it. They just have to learn how to cope and live with it every day of their life. And it's amazing, man, how people can sit back and criticize Simone Biles. And it's like the girl was going through hell on earth. Can you imagine for damn near 6 years? Okay, you got somebody who inserting and I'm gonna be graphic, inserting his fingers into your vagina and then he telling you that this is normal. This is a normal procedure. This is what you're supposed to experience this because I'm giving you checkups. And he doing this on a daily basis. He putting his hands in between your legs, inserting his fingers into your vagina, and he getting off on it. But y'all think that Simone Biles supposed to, have her head in the game at the Olympics and she's supposed to all be there. I mean, the fact that Simone Biles is even there at all, that's shocking. But this guy was able to do whatever he wanted to do. See, abuse in gymnastics, they go hand in hand. It's been a culture. I remember when I was a kid, one of the first coaches I ever saw was Bella Caroli. And y'all remember he had this gymnast named Carrie, and Carrie had this ankle problem, and, she was hurt. But instead of having her, go sit down somewhere and just like, hey, it's over, guess what happened? She went and I think she jumped off the vault. Okay, she did a vault and she had to do it on one leg, literally. She did it on one leg. And she landed and, she had this really good performance. But do y'all know that girl, her ankle and her leg, they've never been the same? Bella Caroli looked like, the fatherly figure carrying off and off into the sunset. And, like he's his father figure and, carried her off like he really cares about her so much. Bella Caroli told her, hey, do it hurt. Go do it hurt. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I understand you're at the highest level, but this girl, she was never the same after that. She was never the same after that. Never the same. And Bella Caroli, you know, man, his name, I mean, dude, he been abusive. I'm talking about not physically, but verbally and emotionally abusive to these women for years, man. This guy been allowed to get away with it. He got a pass for it. He got a pass. And y'all remember that brother? Y'all remember the brother who was in gymnastics? And the story happened about 3 years ago. And the brother, he was trying to get one of the cheerleader girls to do a split. And you know, and I guess when you're doing cheerleading, they do have to force you into a split from what I've learned. You know, they tried to ruin that guy, and this guy really was doing his job. You know, they tried to ruin him. They tried to ruin this guy, and they tried to have him arrested for assaulting a minor. When, you know, that this is something that's practiced in cheerleading. But hey, you got people like Bella Caroli. You got people like this dude right here, what, John Goddard? This dude was allowed to molest these gymnasts for years, y'all. I'm talking about, man, for over a decade, this man was molesting gymnasts. And they gave him a pass. They turned a blind eye for years and years and years. Until USA Gymnastics, they could no longer turn a blind eye. And they literally had to go after this dude because the heat was on. But it's crazy. But that brother, cheerleading coach, man, you know, they tried to have him arrested. They tried to ruin his life. They tried to ruin his life. Dr. Larry Nassar, this dude was able to do what he was doing for 6 years. Guys, he was able to do this for years and years and years. And I'm talking about with, you know, young girls at age 13, 14, and 15. He would go and tell them, you know, I got to work on you today. And he would have them lay down there like he's some damn gynecologist. And he would put his fingers in between their legs. Okay, and try to act like he was doing something to help them. When all along he was getting off on it. Yeah, this dude right here. And then you got this lady right here, Maggie Haney. Has a history of abusing, mentally and emotionally abusing athletes. And I'm talking about, man, doing stuff like talking about their weight. You know, if the person is curvy, you know, she'll say that they too big, or, you know, she'll say that, you know, they all curvy and, you know, need to lose weight. You know, she's one of them you know, like a damn weight patrol, a weight bully. You know, she wanted to be pencil thin. And, you know, they'll tell you, well, to be a gymnast, you can't be heavy. You can't be that heavy. You know, because you have to be really, really tiny, and you can't eat a lot. You can't eat a lot of calories. And anybody they see eating, like, say if a gymnast had a piece of pizza, you know, right here, oh, she'd probably tell them, well, why are you eating that? You can't eat that. And so a lot of these girls had eating disorders. A lot of them would make themselves throw up every time they ate. They stick their hand down their throats and they would go vomit because they didn't want to hear the coach and they didn't want to be overweight. And this bra right here, man, you know, she would take them and weigh them in every week. Like just this crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. But these people, you know, they were allowed to remain. These coaches, these people, they were allowed to remain. They were allowed to do what they continue to do because, hey, USA Gymnastics, they ain't see no problem with it. They kept sweeping it under the rug. Okay, nope, these are tough coaches. They were supposed to do what they were doing. Larry Nassar is a doctor. How are we going to question a doctor? See, for years they used that. Larry Nassar used that. Well, you know, I'm a doctor. How you going to question what's best for the kid? Or how you going to question what's best for the patient? I mean, do you know more than a doctor? They gave Larry Nassar that pass. And see, and some of these girls knew that what he was doing was wrong. They knew what he was doing was wrong, but see, they just, you know, 13 and 14-year-old, they don't really have the argumentative skills to really just go in and just really, really, really like elaborate on what was going on. But they told their parents. And their parents probably told them, you know, hey, it's just part of the procedure. You know, they got to make sure you're okay, blah, 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 blah. Because these parents, a lot of them, they live vicariously through these girls. A lot of these people got to suffer, man. All of these girls, they seeing counselors, they seeing shrinks, they seeing therapists. Okay, some of these girls, they were depressed. Some of these girls were on suicide watch. See, the things that Larry Nassar did, the things that what John Goddard did, the things that Maggie Haney, the things that all these people were doing, y'all, it did a number on these girls' psyche. It did a number on their psyche. And so now, you know, it's like they're sitting here trying to put together the pieces of what life they got. They trying to put together the pieces. They trying to make sense out of why. Why did you do this? See, they sitting here trying to make sense out of it. But it's been a culture. And see, Now that USA Gymnastics, they finna pay these girls $215 million, all the victims. Okay, USA Gymnastics, they finna come out their pocket and give them $215 million. Okay? And $215 million is not going to erase the assaults that happen. Okay, it's not going to erase that. But they're trying to, they're just trying to say, hey, take this money. Take this money, and shut up. See, enough people, their heads didn't roll. The people on the board, they should be going to jail. The people that allowed this, that didn't investigate this thoroughly, they should be in jail too. There should be a whole lot more people in jail besides Larry Nassar. Should be a lot of people in jail. But see, these people, it's that system. It's that good old boy system where everybody knows somebody, so you cover for them. And I'm pretty sure, even the Carollis back in the day, I'm pretty sure, okay, because they were women. Now, there's no reports that Bella Carolli ever sexually assaulted anybody, but some of these girls were being assaulted by coaches that was on his ranch. Some of the girls he trained, they were being sexually assaulted by some of the coaches on the ranch. Yep, they used to send them girls to that Bella Carolli ranch. They sent them there. And them damn girls, when they left that ranch and came out of that ranch, they were never the same people. They were a shell of who they used to be. See, Bella Carolli was allowed to sell that ranch, okay, and go run off into the sunset. He need to get sued too. And honestly, I always thought that Bella Carolli should have been doing some jail time. And I think that his wife, Martha Carolli, should have been doing jail time because she knew everything that was going on. She knew. They all knew. They used to go around talking about the girl's weight. And, talking about like you too fat. You can't be this fat and be a gymnast. They would go tell these kids that. So many of these kids now, they got they got eating disorders. Man, these people, they can't function. They can't function. Wow, all of this to get that gold medal, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And it seems like, I know women coaches can be bad too, but it's too many men coaches that's over a lot of these young girls. It's too many men coaches. It's too many of them. And it's like, damn, a lot of these guys that are male coaches in gymnastics, a lot of them always get caught up in something. Okay, you have coaches having relationships with athletes, which that's a big no-no if you're a coach. But you have coaches having relationships with some of these athletes, okay? And the girls are told to keep it hush-hush. But on the side, they seeing the coach, going up to the coach's office, and, they making it do what it do, okay? And some of the girls are down for that. Some of them, are not. And some of them are being coerced to sleep with the coaches. It's crazy. You there to really just, be a great gymnast. But you can't do that, though, because in those camps, there's always some kind of pedophile in there. Always somebody in there. And see, these coaches, they were allowed to just do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't have somebody watching them over their back. They were trusted to do the job. Well, this is the result of trusting the coaches to do the job. Because evidently they can't do the job. Okay? And it's like a lot of these people, they don't have no prior records. Some of these people, they call them, these are people, I don't know what's the term they use for people that they don't act on their feelings. But when people say that, well, I've never assaulted a kid. I mean, I've never acted on my feelings. That's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You got somebody telling me I ain't never acted on what I feel, well, eventually your brain gonna tell you to do it. It's just what it is. But Larry Nassar, I'm pretty sure in jail they tearing his ass up. But, he ain't gonna see the light of day no more. And then this dude right here, Getter, this dude killed himself. He knew he was going to jail. Oh, and he was friends with Larry Nassar. He was friends, man. See, that's what I'm saying. This thing goes deep. This thing goes real, real deep. And nobody wanted to say nothing. And then when these girls started to speak out about it, they was being silenced. Or nobody was taking them seriously. Like, imagine if these were your daughters, and you send your daughter out to a gymnastics camp, okay? You send her there for months at a time because you believe that the people there, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then, months later, a year later, you find out that your daughter has been assaulted, that somebody been sticking their fingers in your daughter's vagina, and saying that this is something that they're supposed to get checked up every week. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But then you start wondering too, what is going to be the aftermath of this even 10 years from now? Because clearly you can see Simone Biles. You can clearly see that she really can't handle it. This girl had a breakdown in Tokyo. Y'all remember the breakdown that Ali Raisman had? Y'all remember that? She had a breakdown. She had a mental breakdown. And more of these girls are going to be doing it. See, $215 million is a lot of money. But that's not a lot. That's not a lot when, for the rest of your life, whenever you go to sleep, you're going to see Larry Nassar assaulting you. Whenever you go to sleep, you're going to see a Maggie Haney telling you that you're too fat. Okay, or whenever you go to sleep, you're going to have somebody tell you, hey, if you tell it, then, hey, it's pretty much over for your career. What do you do? What do you do, y'all? Yeah, it's going to be a long road to recovery. It's going to be a long road. And when a female is sexually assaulted, they never get over that. They have to be in constant therapy, because if not, they're going to lose it. They're going to get depressed. And at the worst case scenario, go commit suicide. But I'm glad that this hoe right here. Okay, y'all take a good look at this hoe. I'm glad he'll never get back out of jail. And somebody going to get him. Somebody going to get him in there. Watch. Somebody going to get him. Because they know who he is. Okay, they can separate him, but, they can't separate this guy for long. Somebody going to take care. They're going to get Larry Nassar up in jail. And see, and your boy that killed himself, he knew what was about to happen. Okay, he left his wife and his 3 kids. So you knew he was a coward. He was a coward from the get-go. Wow, man. Wow. Wow, but they allow these people. These people are allowed to do what they want to do. I mean, look at this dude right here, man. This dude looked like he looking at somebody. I mean, just look at him, man. He got this weirdo creep vibe to him. Like, it's just a weirdo looking ass dude. But you know what though? Hopefully these gymnasts can get some solitude. They'll get restitution, but maybe they can get some closure. I don't know. I don't know if these gymnasts will ever have closure. No matter how bad they want it, no matter how bad they try to close this chapter in their life, they can't do it. Because you can't just turn off the fact that you were sexually assaulted.